Yo, so we just finished cooking. Pretty good. There we go. Not bad. Turned out pretty good. I'm going to play some piano here in a little bit before the people come on stream. Off. Off. A little bit left there. And we got that cooked right there. Put down in the comments, guys, when you come in. Here lately, sometimes we get a lot of people coming in. Sometimes we get 30, 40, 50 people. Really cool. Put down in the chat. Ow, I just busted my head. Put down in the chat. Where are you from? Where are you coming in from? Right? And then we can start talking. All I ask is that anyone in the channel just keep it respectful and appropriate. That's all I ask. Feel free to say jokes. All that stuff is good. But remember, this channel is helping you guys overcome things. That's why I'm here. Mm-hmm. Da, 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 da. Mm-hmm. Let that cool down right here. Oh, we got some people chatting. Let me see. Give me 1 second. I'll be looking at the chat. What we got? Hi, AJ, Skull. What's up? Don't know what said on its own. Yo. Yes, all I ask is that keep it appropriate in the chat. That's all that I ask before I get ready to go play a little bit of piano. There we go. In case you guys did not know, bleach and Dawn soap, very good. Very, very good for dishes, believe it or not. Now we're done cooking. Made one of my favorite dishes, grass-fed beef, 93% pasta mixed with ricotta cheese. Very good for athletes. What do we got here? Greetings from Van Kitterd. Oh, hey, what's up, brother? Hey, Reluctant Gamer. Welcome back, Thailand. Yo, greetings. Greetings from around the world. Hello. Just made some grass-fed beef and some pasta. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Yum, 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 yum. It is so yummy. It is the yummiest of yummiest dishes. You know what I mean? All right. How is everybody doing today? How is everybody doing today? Y'all want me to play some piano here in a second? What do we got? Looks scrumptious. Looks. What are you making? So, great question. I had some grass-fed beef and I cooked it with some onions right here. And then, that's the wrong top. I had some pasta left over. So I basically made like a grass-fed beef pasta. And then I made some eggs and some chicken sausage right here. Right? So now I've got some eggs and some chicken sausage. And when I have a bowl like this, I'll take a plastic bag like this, and this will be my breakfast in the morning. And I'll use that same plastic bag. That's how I seal my bags. Just use a plastic bag like that. Greetings from Pakistan. I get a lot of people that come in here from Pakistan, interestingly enough. I never thought that people would come live just to talk from Pakistan. Blows my mind. But guys, you give me 1 second, and I have my dishwasher over here. I just use it as a drying rack, though. I had my top, but I don't know where my top went. Cameron Porter, how you doing today? Awesomeness, subscribe, Indian Gum. Hey, what's up? Hey, y'all, just popping in for a bit. Yep. So I'm going to basically play some music here in a second. I have the piano right over here, right? So here in a second, I'm going to play a little bit of music, right? And yeah, essentially, guys, so my last stream got almost 5,000 views. That was cool. So I did not expect that. It really blows my mind how many people come into these streams. It's crazy how many haters there are in the world. It's like, guys, you don't know me. And I don't know you. And I don't know, maybe we were just raised different, but it's kind of weird just to go in randomly and be, where are you from, bro? Play. Nah, dude. When I play piano, it's very limiting. Trying to learn more music, but I don't do YouTube full time. I just pop on here just to say hey to you guys sometimes. So I'm limited to what I can play. For that, I slightly apologize. But for the stream, everybody likes it when I wear a tank top. So I guess I'll put a tank top on. Everybody likes it when I wear a tank top. Everybody likes it when I wear a tank top. Why? I don't know. Because I have tattoos, maybe? Maybe. I don't know. But since the people have spoken, the people have told me. They have said, Chris, when you stream, please wear a tank top. Please, sir. So, I do. I do. They like it when I wear my tank top so they can see my sleeves. Yo, and I'm back. The people do. Since you want to spam it, so, oh, who's spamming? No one cares. Oh, yeah, Tony, you're welcome to say free Palestine if you want, if that's what you wish to say. I am a patriot, so I have my own opinions on that. But what's cool about the United States is this: we can agree to disagree. You know what I mean? It's kind of like race, religion, and politics. No matter how you do it, if you talk about race, religion, or politics, you're never going to win. Just remember that, guys. Race, religion, and politics. Don't talk about it. You try, you're always going to offend somebody. I imagine a world that we live in to where people can actually talk about things and not get so darn offended. We all have our own opinions on things. And if you think your opinion is better than someone else's, well, that kind of makes you, kind of like a Marxist or a socialist or a fascist. Really, a fascist is what it is. But hey, have your opinion, stand up for what you believe in, and if you really believe in a cause, do something to make it happen. But remember, if we're on opposite sides, I'd rather be your ally. I would rather be your ally than your enemy. I would rather be your ally than your enemy. So, UK, right. I served Haiti. I ended up being Swanson, and I hardly pay attention to the news. Oh, yeah, Bumby. Well, the news can drive any man crazy, now can it not? I need to get my charger real quick. Any extreme opinions, yeah, that goes both ways too. I find that it's very easy. The thing is this, I find in life it's almost impossible to be very rational and super emotional at the same time. Like, you can have passion, and that passion can do some good when you're speaking, but you have to be able to have that passion and that emotion under control. Because if you don't have it under control, then, I don't know, you just lose your logic. You know what I mean? Cheers, mate. Cheers, Mr. Mr. Neeg and Ga. Why is that your name, dude? That's funny. Pinch, pinch. Big Burnett Cockers. Some of y'all's names trip me out, man. I'm going to get my spaghetti and then I'm going to play a little bit of piano for some music theory. And hopefully we can talk a little bit. Remember, my whole point of me doing these lives is to talk to the young men and the young women and try to give you some encouraging words. If you're going through suicide, if you're going through depression, if you're trying to build a business, you're going through divorce, whatever it may be, I'm here to kind of give you some good energy, right? That is why I do the streams. Trolls come and trolls come and trolls go. Should we light a candle today? Should we light a candle? Should I light a candle? I am going to light a candle. Get my food here. I do have a candle, by the way. Let me put a candle right here. Put a candle right there. Should we light the candle? Yes. Should we light the candle? Should we light the candle, guys? Should we light the candle? Should we light the candle?
Yes, welcome to the piano candle. Yes, let's light the candle.
No, it's not really how I talk, guys. Here we go. Add a little bit of aroma to the world. There's a candle. There is a cup of coffee, which probably disregards that candle. Fun fact. Cameron, you're my moderator. Do whatever you feel is right. Cameron's a good moderator. He'll give you some warnings. I have faith in Cameron. Cameron's probably my best moderator. What do you think, Cameron? You're probably best. Fun fact about Candle, they are gay. All right. Wish I could. Now I'm just going to play some scales and work on some of my original music. It's kind of what I do. Yeah, I don't have those great ears. I'm not a savant. I'm just a guy that uses piano when I talk. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I'm fond of Cameron, basically because I made him a moderator. Your dumbass will never be a moderator on my channel. But you're welcome to troll. Keep trolling, troll. I appreciate you. Without the trolls, I wouldn't get a bunch of comments. That's not right. What does it say? Do you boof shrooms? No, I don't do drugs. No drinking. Oh, thanks, Nightbot. Yeah, I don't drink. I don't smoke. I I became sober years ago, and it was the best decision of my life. I encourage you to do the same. I'll tell you what, if you can't face the world sober, you're not as strong as you think you are. It takes a lot to face the world sober, like no alcohol, no drugs, seeing everything that's going on in the world and not numbing it. You know what I mean? It's actually tougher than you think. Hmm. Yeah, I play a little bit of poker from time to time. That's a game I play. A fun fact, if you look at my profile picture, that's me in a poker tournament for WPT. It was at San Diego. So I'm actually in the Global Poker Index because I actually used to play a lot of video games, and I was playing Pokemon games when I was younger, the card game from time to time. And yeah, one thing led to another. When I was in the Navy, I played a few poker tournaments. I won a couple. And yeah, uh, essentially, um, you can Google me. You can actually Google me in Google search bar, and I pop up on Google Images. I did a really deep poker run. The game of poker in tournaments is a lot like business. If you like business, you'll like poker. Trust me on that. You got to know when to push people, when to let off the gas, when to apply pressure. You have to understand odds and math. It's a fun game. Amanda, do I believe in God? I do. Yeah. Makes more sense to have a creator. Put it this way. Okay. You see you see this candle, right? Elsa. Elsa, welcome back to the channel. Grass-fed beef, pasta, tomato, oregano sauce, and I mix ricotta cheese into the tomato sauce after I cook it. So it's kind of like a creamy tomato. Remember, ricotta cheese and tomato make a very creamy texture. It's really yummy in pasta. Hmm. You could just call it spaghetti, but it's technically more of a baked ziti sauce with grass-fed beef. And again, the ricotta cheese that I mix make the sauce really good. I promise you this, my spaghetti tastes better than your spaghetti. Put it that way. I use grass-fed beef, and I mix a little bit of ground turkey sausage mixed in, right? So remember, if you're ever making pasta and spaghetti, mix a turkey sausage or Italian sausage mixed in with your beef, and it'll give it that extra zest, that extra flavor. Oh, Casper, I would invite you if you were close by. Very cool, very cool. Bizou. Oh, welcome back, brother. I would invite you. Again, guys, last stream got 5,000 views. By the way, guys, the channel hit over 1 million views globally. So since I started doing live streams, my projection's gone up, and I'm not selling anything. I'm not monetized on YouTube yet, but somehow I've hit 1 million views on YouTube. So, you know, thank you guys for that. I appreciate it. Yeah, Kevin Porter said, mm, mm. Yep. My channel is bumping. I actually used to know that. I forgot it. Mm-mm. That's where my ears aren't like other musicians. I know some musicians who can just listen and play, and I don't see how they do that. I'm kind of more like a guy who finds a pattern and just plays based on patterns. So, sorry to disappoint you. I can do the Jaws theme song. Huh. Maybe it's that. Is it that? Something like that. I don't know. I'm not the best at hearing and playing, but I tried. It's like da 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 da. But I can do something like this, maybe something like that. I don't know. I don't know why I can play that. I just can. It's weird. I don't know how I'm able to play piano. And when I tell that to people, I don't like I can't hear music and repeat it. I've hardly ever listened to a lot of music. I listen to some. I just find little patterns like this. Like Ed Sheeran's Perfect, which is like 1, 6, 4, 5. In the key of C, it's 6, 1, 6, 4, 5. And I was trying to take that and make this. Let's see. Let's see. Maybe something like that. What I need to do is make enough money on YouTube to focus on piano full time, is what I'd like to do. But life gets in the way of that. Yeah, you're right. Cameron, you're right. Oh, Cameron, you're going to force me to do it. I know Interstellar is one, but then I'm going to actually have to have the time to do it. But if I have it written down, I'm more likely to do it. I can't stress to you guys how much time I cannot stress to you guys how much time it takes for me to go live for an hour here or 2 hours here. I literally have cut my entire social life down to almost zero besides business, just in the attempt to try to go viral. So if you look at my previous streams, it's like 2 hours, 1 hour, 1 hour. There's 168 hours in a week, and the only reason I keep going live is because the more I go live, the more people come in. And I'm not a talented piano player, you know. Don't quit your job. Well, that'll be good because I have a business. So, yeah, I'm going to. So, this year, if things go right, right, hopefully I could pull a $50,000 check in the month of January. That would be cool. That would give me some breathing room. Well, BB, I appreciate that. I think I'm probably slightly above average, maybe, if that. But I do like doing stuff like this. Is it someone's birthday? Hey, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, Krusty Krab. Yeah, yeah, pizza. Krusty Krab pizza. Krusty Krab. Remember that episode? Happy birthday. Happy birthday. You got the first Krusty Krab. I don't even see. This is where I'm like autistic or whatever. I don't even know how to play Happy Birthday on the piano. See, that's how much of a bum I am. Da 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 da. Is that right? Sarah's so bad at it, dude. Yeah, the Krusty Krab, yeah, 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 pizza. See, I can do voices. I just remember he's sitting there and he's like walking. He's like, the crusty crab, pizza is the pizza for you and me, crusty crab. Crusty crab pizza. I don't know, something like that. I wish I could, Jody. Yeah, get a good workout in. Remember, get stronger in the gym. Hey, Bun Bun, remember this. Force equals mass times acceleration. So instead of like going slow and controlled, go fast, boom, and go fast and become powerful until you run out of power and then slow the reps down. If you want to be an athlete, move fast, move powerful. Force equals mass times acceleration. Therefore, the more force that you can generate, the more power you shall possess. That was one of the biggest things that I did when I was still am a trainer, but when I train people, all that super slow and controlled stuff, that's only good if you still have the ability to also generate power. But if you just do slow and controlled pull-ups, and that's fine, but try this. Put 100 pounds strapped to your waist, get on the bar, and pull yourself up. Watch what happens to your body strength. What, you have no muscles? All right, that's cool, brother. Yeah. Chris can't legally conceal his lethal weapons. Yeah. Remember, I'm a lot bigger in person than you probably think. I mean, I'm like 6'4", 230, brother. And I'm actually an athlete, not a bodybuilder. I don't just train to have show muscles. I have go muscles, bubba. So, also, you see my legs? I have a big legs and big back. I'm not what they call a curl monkey. I mean, my arms are 18 inches. That's not bad. For someone that's 6'4", most people have, like if you're like 5'8", 5'9", yeah, you'll be more compact. But yeah. So, but what I tell people is this: when you go to the gym, get stronger. Trust me on that. Get stronger. It will pay off. Trust me on that. I feel pretty comfortable with picking up a man and suplexing them. You know why I'm thick in the thighs? Because I used to deadlift. Deadlift, strength, performance, and like squeezing, throwing, those types of things. Keep in mind too, guys, if you haven't seen my old pictures, I used to be 300 pounds before I had surgery. Now I'm only 230. I bet I'm bet I'm larger than the average piano player. What is this? Pink Stoic. I don't know what that is. You said, yeah, we're hitting the beach this Saturday. Want to join? I don't want to go to the beach. What does this say? Yeah, you're the man right now. You know it all? No, I don't know it all. Never said I did. But, you know, I've probably done more in my life than you have. Put it that way. That's not just the good, it's also the bad. I've also made a lot of mistakes in my life. Well, just put it this way. This is my standpoints when it comes to the fitness advice that I give on my channel. I am a certified strength and conditioning coach. I used to volunteer at the University of Pittsburgh. I've got my training certificate hanging up there. When I was in the Navy for 10 years, I learned from the University of Pittsburgh, and I learned a lot about human performance from Coach Paul and Shane Levinson, who had PhDs in kinesiology. I used to be a marathon runner. I was 160 pounds in high school, and at my peak I was 300. So after 9 years of training, and I'm naturally an endurance athlete. It's hard for me to build muscle. So I do more of an athletic strength conditioning. Sports, basketball, baseball, football. I've run a few marathons. I've run a 90-mile race before. So my job in the Navy as an ACFL was to get people in shape with like a 95% success rate. So volunteer certificate was, got you. You are a troll. Got you. NASM ISSA. Oh, that's the wrong one. Question for you guys. Do any of y'all watch UFC? Do any of y'all watch UFC? Who do you have in Kamsat Chimaev and DDP? Who do y'all have in that fight? Oh, happy birthday, Hayden. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. I was trying to learn how to play Happy Birthday on the piano earlier. You know, I can't even remember exactly how Happy Birthday goes if someone sang it. I can't remember how the tune goes in my head. Anyways. No, I don't really do. Thank you, Sophia. Yeah, I try to play stuff more like, I do know one piece. I know this one. When Ozzy Osbourne died, I remembered this. I wish I could play Devil in Disguise. Maybe something like that. Samuel, hey, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. I was improving. I actually just figured out something. So I think if I do a D and I space it like, great playing. Welcome, Samuel Westall. Welcome. Welcome, Krusty Krab Pizza. Welcome to the channel. Who else is in here? Time to shout out top friends and to take a tour of my office. When I sit down too much, my back hurts. I guess that means I'm getting too old. We did actually do some front squats today, though. We have this hack squat machine, and I did front squats on it with some stabilizers for my back. And I got up to 2 plates and a quarter, which was very good for me. Now, it is time. Did you know that this is called a melodica? What is this? Oh, friends. I think I can play it with my nose. Is that funny? Ah! Is that kind of gross to play with my nose? Let's see. Are you not entertained? He said fart, isn't it? fart in it. That's actually funny. Oh, Dirk. Put you guys right there for a second. Oh, man. Let's see here. Inbox. Only 104 messages to go in. AHIP, GTI, Medicare expenses. Onion. That's all I have to say. Okay. Now, Hunter Biden gives blunt two-word response. Weaklings Trump's dismissal of Epstein case. Bill Gates declares the end of smartphones. Yeah, let's just go back to something cool like this. I wish I could play music like that. No spamming, please. Guys, in case you didn't know, I was in the Navy for 10 years. That's some of that there. So what do you guys want to talk about? Come on. Come on, guys. Give me something to talk about. Give me something good. Like, for real. So a lot of times when I stream, let's be serious for a second. Some of the things I stream about are depression, suicide, how to start a business, what it's like to start a business, what does it take to start a business, how to become the best version of yourself, sales, how to talk to people, how to close a deal, health and wellness, nutrition, staying in shape. So all of these are things to talk about, you know. So Judgment Day. Oh, Judgment Day? Well, okay, let me tell you something about that, Zach. Google Samuel Westall Incorporated. No, I'm not going to Google that right now. I'm going to stay on my stream and do what I want to do. And if you want to plug yourself, you know, I have moderators in here. You're welcome to, you know, do a plug, hey, blah, 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 blah. But if you start spamming, the moderator will just like kick you out. And if not, then I will. So just, you know, keep it somewhat professional. But that being said, I'm always open to network. So if anybody comes in and they're making videos or content, go on some of my videos and like, comment, subscribe, right? Post on some of my videos, and anyone who consistently goes to my videos and I see that you're starting a new channel, something I will do, I will go into your videos and I'll actually comment when I have time. So I do encourage any of you young men and women, because a white guy called me the N-word yesterday, he can, we can talk about what to do. Oh, in that situation, yeah, just don't let it bother you. I mean, I know that's easier said than done, but calmer heads prevail, you know, and we're all guilty of it. It's easy for anyone to say something and get under our skin. You know, people can say stuff to me sometimes and it gets under my skin. But here's the goal, right? So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of like this. Different people come from different walks of life. Different cultures say different things, you know, but that doesn't mean it should change the way you do what you do. Right? We all have our own experiences. We all are in this world and we all do things differently. Now, always be true to yourself. No one's going to respect you more unless people are going to respect you if you're consistently being yourself. Right? They may not like it. They may disagree with you, but if you're consistently being yourself, right, you'll be respected. And if you're around a bunch of people who don't respect you, go away. Like, do you really need the approval of other people in your life? Like, do you have to have their approval? Probably not. Work on yourself, right? Work on yourself and other successful people will notice. Even if you aren't successful, right? What is this? Race, religion, and politics. I know there's a lot going on in the world. I think that it's all going to work out for the better. I'd rather be an optimist and wrong than be a pessimist and be right. I know things look bad, but in my way of the way I see the world, I'm always going to be optimistic, be realistic, be prepared. Trust me. I did a deployment in Afghanistan for the first 7 years of my life. I was raised by warriors in the Navy, and I know firsthand how bad people can be from my own life experience. I'm always prepared. It's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war zone. Just stay strong. Be able to run, be able to do push-ups, pull-ups, be strong, and be able to be self-sufficient, right? Can always get worse. Everything can get worse. But in your mind, and all you young guys and gals out here, in your mind, okay, if all you do is look at the negative, then your life is going to be shit. No matter how bad that it gets, acknowledge the worst scenario, right? Hope for the best, prepare for the worst, right? You know, don't be so ignorant that you think, oh, it's always going to work out to the best. No, but you can still wish that the best outcome is that way, and always stay hard and prepare yourself. Oh, back in the line. Absolutely. Texas made. Yeah. It's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war zone. And what that means is, you know, if you watch like anime growing up, like Dragon Ball Z, it's the same way. The thing that always got people was when it's too peaceful and people are too complacent, that's when the enemy strikes. So you got to keep yourself ready. You got to do little things to keep yourself ready. Yeah. Hey, look, you know, I didn't get into a lot of anime, but I'll tell you what, Dragon Ball Z, that was some good stuff, man. The storyline was great. Look, you know, I always thought people like Goku, people that always trained hard, right? Even though Goku was a bum-ass father, there's a lot of lessons to that. It's just, you know, you can learn the same thing from people like in modern day, like David Goggins, you know, who runs. He just finished a 200-mile race, right? He came in, and I want to say it was him that got a pair of boots one time on base back in the day. But it's just like, follow people or don't follow anyone. Get your own internal mindset and just become better than you were yesterday. That's all you can do, man. I hear you, brother. Thanks, Blue. What do I think? Well, I think that race, religion, and politics are very... I know because my channel's founding father in America 1776. Look, I got a 1776 Boston tea stained flag hanging above my bed that I look at as I go to sleep. I get it. But I also get there's a lot of younger guys in here, and I don't want them... I don't really care if I offend someone from telling them the truth, but I really want the younger generation to realize you can talk about things and still be rational and control your emotions. But if you look at Washington, D.C., okay, it's not getting any better. No matter which way you slice it, if you come into this country illegally, even if you have not committed a crime in this country, coming into the country illegally was a crime. And I know this firsthand because I live in Georgia now, right? But I lived in San Diego for 7 years before that, right? Part of that was my military service and a business, right? Texas made. Sure, I didn't really watch Naruto and all that, so, but cool. wherever you draw your inspiration, if that inspiration allows you to become the best version of yourself, by all means. Like I said, Dragon Ball Z, I watched a little bit of Fairy Tale, a little bit, but that's about as far. I mean, I don't really watch a lot of TV, to be honest. I'm usually playing piano, working on my business, going to the gym, or trying to make money. Like Coronado, there you go, Buck Drew, yeah. So my ex-wife used to work in Coronado, right? I was never stationed there, right? I had been out of the Navy and I moved to San Diego with my ex-wife and we did business. But before then, there was a SWIT community at Special Boat Team 22. I was an LS there, combat service support, and I trained with those guys, just getting physically in shape. I deployed to Afghanistan in Operation Enduring Freedom. So for 6-7 years, I trained with those guys and learned firsthand, what it means to be a warrior, right? I wouldn't say I'm a beast, but I think that from where I started from, look, guys, my training philosophy is very simple. Sprint, build power, and don't train like a bodybuilder, right? Yeah, business. I did some business in San Diego, and now I'm doing business in Georgia. All right, well, you know what? I appreciate that. Maybe if I look like a beast to you, that's what's up. I would say, hopefully, I can give you some inspiration so you can become better than me. You're younger than I am, Reluctant Gamer, most likely. I'm probably older than you are. I just want to inspire you to be better than me. I was search and rescue. I failed. Oh, wow. Hey, well, I tell you what, search and rescue, that ain't no joke. Some of the swimming and stuff that you do. So you probably used to train at Coronado and do some of the swims up and down the bridge. Yeah, so that's some crazy stuff to me. Swimming was something that was hard to me. I always sink when I swim. Like, trust me, I can swim the 500 meter and go back and forth and stuff. And I can do the combat side stroke and a little bit. But I'm a lot better runner than I am a swimmer. But I still like to swim. But there's a difference between people who can really swim. Like, you put fins on me, I can swim all day. You give me those fins, those short little power ones, oh man, I can swim all day. You know what I mean? I started life, health, and accident insurance. I'm working with some guys that were in the Navy, and I am working with them to build my own insurance company. Are you part black? Well, I tell you what, AJ, what's funny is I was really good at basketball. My best sport was baseball. I was a pitcher, but my favorite sport was basketball. I'm a shooting guard. No, listen, ATJ has actually got a point here. Look, the stereotype is true. It was me and every black person in boot camp was all sitting in a pool thinking, man, why is it so hard for us to swim? Congrats. No, I'm serious, man. I'm not trying to be racist or nothing, but it was me, and I played basketball. And this is what I think. When you run a lot on the concrete, I think running on the pavement makes more bone density and it makes you become negative buoyant. I think because a lot of people who are black live in the city and they play basketball on the blacktop. I grew up in the country, but I always played basketball on blacktop. I am not a bodybuilder, but that's cool. Teresa, what's up? So, I would say this. Selling insurance is an interesting job or an interesting business. It's good. Just put it that way. Well, no. Voice of Freedom, you come in last. This was a Navy joke. Because basketball is predominantly dominated by the African American community. What are you, stupid? I'm just joking. I'm just playing. But no, I'm being serious. As someone who played basketball his whole life, I always wanted to be on the brothers team because I knew we was going to win. And I played for 20 years. I'm a shooting guard. I mean, I'm actually better at basketball than you probably think, right? Except golf.
But no, this was the whole point. I have this theory because I did study some sports science, and I think bone density, the harder your bones are, when you get tested in the water, like at the University of Pittsburgh, there's something called buoyancy. Even David Goggins talks about this, the Navy SEAL runner. He sinks and he runs a lot on the street. So think about everyone that you know that ran on the concrete. Running on the concrete does this to your body. That creates thicker bones. Those, not on the ground, but I mean specifically on the concrete. I think the Wolff's Law causes bones to become denser, and including genetics and stuff, but I think the bone density makes you less buoyant and harder to swim. You're in the middle because you can't swim either. Yeah. Well, I didn't swim a lot growing up as a kid, but I could learn to swim. Like I taught myself how to keep going, but I was never buoyant. So we got tested at there's places where you can go, like the University of Pittsburgh. There was a guy there named Paul, right? I trained for bicycle excursions. There you go. He said, I can swim underwater. But some of the biggest, fluffiest people are so buoyant, they swim like it's nothing. For me to swim for like 1,000 meters or 2,000 meters, I'm going to have to work for that because my body, like if I just hold my breath and hold myself, I just don't float. I know what you're supposed to do to float. I can float a little bit, but again, it's the craziest thing. They measured my bone density, and my bone density is slightly higher than average, which is probably why, like when I throw punches or I kick, I can throw punches really hard because I think I have dense bones, for what it's worth. Dolphin up for air. Oh, you're a free diver. Well, that's what's up. Let me ask you this. As a free diver, have you ever had your buoyancy tested? Whether you're positively or negatively buoyant? I've never had good lung capacity, but am a decent endurance swimmer. By the way, I have a, what is this? Could you punch me hard? I'm going to hide that. I shall show it. I mean, I feel like I can throw a pretty hard punch. Most of my strength is in my torque. For example, my best sport was baseball. I could throw a baseball in high 90s in high school. So just the ability to torque and twist. I have better twisting and throwing strength than like some of my buddies who are just like these huge benchers who are like 400-pound benchers and just repping. They're really strong in that motion, but when it comes to squeezing and throwing, I felt like I was always stronger than them. Yeah, torque. Like your ability. Okay, you'll go yard. I mean, I'll tell you this much. If I'm throwing to strike you out after I warm up, we can put $20 around. I feel good. Hey, if you're a good batter, if you're one of those really good batters, you'll be able to figure out my timing, but I got decent placement. You know, and my fastball tails in, so it kind of tails naturally. So my curvature is a little tricky, but hey, maybe you could. Are you a boxer? No, I did do some training in boxing. You gotta remember, guys, I'm almost 40 years old, so I've trained with a lot of stuff. I went through a couple years where I did a little bit of boxing training on the side, found out I had pretty good hands, but it wasn't until I was in my 30s that I kind of got in more of the boxing training, and I was kind of like, I wish I would have done this when I was younger. Right? Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, I'm not in my 20s. I'm almost 40 years old, guys. I'm getting up there in age. 6'4", 230, you know, a no sleep look. What is that? No sleep look? Oh, because of this? I probably sleep more than you do, brother. No, my whole family has thin skin underneath here. Me, my dad, my brother, my grandfather, we all have this. It's just, I don't know. We all have thin skin under here, so you can see all the blood. But I promise you that I get sleep. I probably sleep 6 to 8 hours a day on average. 6'4", 230, not super big, not super small. But remember, I'm not a bodybuilder, guys. I train more like an athlete. Torque, 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 twist, explosiveness, right? Train for your goal when it comes to the gym. Like, my favorite lift was always deadlifts. Take care of your liver. I've had my blood work done almost annually for like the last, 7, 8 years when I was in the Navy. My liver's fine. My HDL, my LDL. When I went to the doctor said that I have thin skin under my eyes. I have nearly perfect blood work, which surprised me because when I was younger, I used to do recreational drugs and I used to drink a lot. So when I was younger, I was not a very good boy. But luckily, I got sober, dedicated time to the gym, and yeah, here we are, almost 40 years old, still going. Yeah, so hey, 808 Derp is here. He says, I know what drugs are. That's funny. Yeah, calisthenics is the truth. Who's Ray Lakota? I don't know who that is. Are you delusional? Hey, looks like Ray Liotta. Don't know who that is. Are you Dutch? I am Viking, German, and Irish. So I have Viking heritage, German heritage, and yeah. So calisthenics is actually really good because here's the thing. When people do calisthenics, they'll do explosive push-ups and explosive pull-ups, and they'll do explosive squats. The thing is, you want to move your body explosively. Like here, this is the little gym spot I have in the house over here. So this is one of my workout stations over here. So I have a weighted vest and I have these implements to hold on to and these rings. And I'll use this with banded exercises right here and a tactical wolf vest. Calisthenics can get you in great shape. But don't just do calisthenics. Do calisthenics for high explosive reps. From Kenya. Hello, are you from Kenya? Oh, that's what's up. Welcome from Kenya. Jerry Hart. Okay, thank you, Kaylin. Yeah. So Irish, you sure you couldn't throw a stone? Sure you couldn't throw a stone without hitting one of us? Okay. No, I never said I was a Navy SEAL. I never said that. I'm not a Navy SEAL. I served with SWCS and SEALs. But yeah, I can throw a baseball over 90 miles an hour. Did you grow up on a farm working manual labor your whole life? Do your hands look like that? It's not my fault. It's not my fault you didn't grow up on a farm working your fucking ass off all day. Yeah, I served in Navy for 10. So, well, interestingly enough, I think the reason that I can throw a baseball so hard, right, is because I grew up on a dairy farm and you had to throw rocks at the cows. So, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you have to get the cows up and you have to throw rocks. So growing up, I had to work on a farm and carry buckets and do manual labor my whole life. Well, Buck Drew, they did look at me. Scouts did look at me. And then this is where my story gets kind of dark. My mother had me when she was 15 years old. I had some drug issues because I had a 15-year-old mother, and a bunch of stuff. So essentially, what's that? You want to know what school? Nah, you're just a troll, brother. But nah, so basically, I moved schools a lot and just stopped playing. So, yeah, it's one of those things where I don't think, Like, I really don't think most people can relate to how I grew up. Like, I literally had a 15-year-old mother. So, you know, listening into the lore of his story. Yeah, so I'm older than you are, Japan man. Not necessarily, brother. Guys, well, apparently Buck Drew knows everything. So, okay. 15 years old, I'm Hawaiian, recovery. Yeah. Oh, trust me, brother. There was a time when scouts were kind of looking at me, but, I can't emphasize this enough. There was a very dark period of my life to where I was like getting into becoming homeless and all sorts of stuff. So, Bane Chan from Stray Kids. I'm in Florida. Oh, there you go. I'm having breakfast. Yeah, we're going to catch us a fat cow. Yeah! So, yeah, man. So, what I learned most about growing up was that, it comes in life where you really get opportunities that come to you in life, and you should try to take advantage of every one that you can. Because in another life, I actually think if I would have taken baseball seriously, hey, a job hippie. What is a job hippie? What is that? Oh, get a job, hippie. Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I never know what's going on in the comments, but now I want to go play some piano. But anyways, this is one thing I do recommend. If you can't go to the gym, get you something like this. Work on your grip. Get stronger. Train like an athlete, not a bodybuilder. That's all I'm saying. Train like an athlete, not a bodybuilder. When it comes to food, grass-fed beef. Beef. Grass-fed beef. Carbs, sweet potato. Kind of got the wind out of my cells now. I'm actually thinking about what I'm about to play on piano, is what I'm about to think. Do you even lift? Ha ha ha. Put it this way, your favorite Instagram lifter that you probably watch, that edits all their videos, I'm probably about 50 pounds heavier than that person, and probably stronger. Don't train like a bodybuilder, guys. Train like an athlete. Ever considered a little Botox? Huh. one earlier. What was it? How about this one? Switch over to something like this. Brain damage? Is that a song, or do I have brain damage? I've had a few concussions in my life when I was playing sports. Possibly some brain damage. Sports coffee. Nope, that's not what I do. I just play little pieces of what I know, and sometimes people tend to like it. So, I know this little piece right here. More improv. This is one I've been writing for a little bit. I'm still working on it, but this is an original. Let's see. I just want you guys to have a little bit of peace if you hear some music. What's up, Jason? Playing some piano, working on some music. Maybe disappointing some people because they ask for songs and I don't play them. Partly because I can't play them. It's not really what I do. Guys, I am here to talk about business, suicide, depression. Done lots of stuff in my life, played a lot of sports, coach, have a business, and simply put, How are you doing? I'm back. Yep. Simply put, I like to talk to you guys when I play some piano because piano and talking just makes me happy. So it's funny how people come in here and I get like 48 to 50 likes. And everybody thinks I'm always lying when I talk about stuff I've done. It's so crazy. It's the craziest thing. I can't wait for the winter lesson for you play and looking snow down. What is this? I can't wait for the winter lesson for you play and looking slow down. Is that a song request? Oh, Buck Drew, it's cool. I mean, I get it. It's just whatever, man. I have no reason to lie on my channel. And I'm at the age now where if people just want to question, then it's okay. I'm just kind of like, it just amazes me how many people like question my integrity. Trust me, it gives me strength when I'm in the gym. Trust me. This is something I created in the world. So when I come on live, the only thing I really care about is expressing some of the original music that I've played. And this is my attempt to do so simply because I have a desire to try to make the world a little happier today. Yeah, it's okay. Like I said, it's not like a Bach or Chopin piece. Is it like Beethoven? No. But you know what it is? It's mine. Think about this, you know. Well, you know what, Buck? Maybe there was a time when they did. Old life, brother. The whole point of that conversation was this. Here's what I'm saying. The whole example is you can create a lot of strength for torque in workouts. That's it. try to do that same thing in another key. So let's do it in the key of A. So it should be A. Oh, I feel like my energy reserves are getting up. Something like that. Jimmy White, welcome back. Oh, Tony, hello. Trying to stay motivated to work on some new music. Oh, 52 thumbs ups. That's a record. Actually, 54. Fun fact, no, I cannot. I'm actually the opposite. I can barely play nothing by ear, and I just try to use mathematical patterns to articulate inner emotions. That's what I attempt to do. But fun fact, all the black keys are a pentatonic scale. So I wish So a pentatonic scale is like a whole note. It's like 2 semitones, 3 semitones, 2, 2. And if you do that, sound cool, but it's actually really easy to do. Well, oh, Elsa, thank you again. Hey, we beat it, 55. Yeah, so No, I'm really not a great piano player as far as like, I'm just a person who tries to use mathematical. So this is like, okay, so this is one chord. This is an F minor chord. Jason, see you next time. That sounds good, but I don't really think it's like math. Yeah, guys, I might be getting kind of tired. It's been a long day. Math. Not to be be confused with meth, which apparently a lot of people think I'm on meth and drugs and shrooms for some reason. I don't know. I wish I could, Emma. Emma, if I could play Pink Floyd, I would play it for you now. Music on the piano is just me attempting to create new sounds on the piano just because I enjoy it. It's weird. I'm not inspired. I mean, I like classical composers. I try to mimic them. So I got this Pink Floyd shirt at a Goodwill for $2. And I like stuff, but a lot of times I buy stuff because of the way it looks. And thank you for that. Very silly, I know. I still bargain shop to this day. I grew up with a 15-year-old mother, so yeah. I'm an interesting cat, guys. What I mean by that is, I don't meet a lot of people like me. And for some reason, everybody thinks I'm gay. Do I give off gay vibes? I don't know. I'm not gay. I'm not gay. I can't play Pink Floyd. Everybody has to play songs and I can't do it. I just, like, guys, I come on here just to do something like, I can do this. No, I'm actually very fond of women. I like women very much. Just for what it stands. I like women so much that I have to stay away from them. Because, as Charlie Munger once said, a billionaire, what kills successful men are women and I think it was gambling and women or something, alcohol and women, something like that. I'm probably never getting married again. The divorce that I went through earlier this year, that was a tough one. So, getting back to the YouTube channel, oh yeah, distance yourself. I mean, I'll say this, when I was a younger man, I was probably addicted to women, just to be fair. But I think that's something that a lot of men go through. He said, and jerking. Well, interestingly enough, let me share this with you guys. Speaking of self-care, if you want to do something, try this. Okay, I'm working on a community in the future where I want to talk about sobriety and stuff. Yes, Elsa. Charlie Munger was Warren Buffett's right-hand man at Mutual of Omaha, who I have a contract with and license of insurance from Berkshire Hathaway. Very cool. What's my new addiction? You know what? What a great question. This is a promo model 2025. That's such a good question. And the reason it's a good question is you never get rid of an addiction. You trade the addiction for something else. I mean that. For example, if you smoke and then you quit smoking, you don't quit the addiction of smoking, you replace the habit with something else. So this year, I'm addicted to building a business and having the most money I've ever made in my life this year. Which brings me back to my next point. Well, YouTube Lives is kind of one of my addictions, yeah. But this is my office. This is where I work. This is a daily reminder. Nobody cares. Work harder. He says, I can't stop whacking off. Well, hopefully you're not doing that watching my videos, because if you are, I'm not that beautiful. But yes, we change one addiction to another. But here, let me show you a book on that, brother. Get this. It's called The Semen Retention. I'm serious, guys. The Semen Retention Manuscripts. Take a picture of this. Read this. There's a YouTube channel. I am not endorsed by him. There's a YouTube channel. Look up SR Manuscript Ancient Archives. Ooh, I like the way that sounds. I love Johann Sebastian Bach. I love the way he sounds on piano. He is the greatest composer of all time. Johann Sebastian Bach. He's better than Beethoven. He's better than everybody. I want to learn to play piano like him, but my time is limited on earth. I have limited time on earth, and I don't know what to dedicate my time to. Addicted to going to the gym? Yep, I feel that. Gym, taking care of yourself, 100%. Yeah, please subscribe. So now we're moving on to the part of the channel. See, I wish I could play piano like these guys. So I'm hoping by listening to it more, I can pick up on it. Now it's the time where I put on another tank top, right? And we talk about other things, right? So the person who said they were addicting to self-care, from a man's perspective, Five Finger Sally, right? Okay, I can relate to you because when I was younger, I had a very active, let's just say, sex life, right? So what I want to stress to you guys, right, is this. 5 or 10 minute, please, for, yeah, this is the Semen Retention Manuscript. And basically, this is, I'll read a passage from it for all you people. This goes for women too. Women and men. Essentially, every organ and cell in our body uses electric voltage. Differences in ionic currents in the performance critical daily function. Every cell generates a voltage of around 70 MVs across its outer membrane. For example, the retinal rod cells drive a relatively steady dark current. You have ATP, right? ATP. So I have found that if you want more energy, conserving your energy actually makes you have more energy. Yes, Elsa, thank you for that very much. Somebody asked me how old I am. I am in my late 30s. I'm almost 40, guys. So, 2 things. Music like Johann Sebastian Bach. I have studio speakers. Music like Johann Sebastian Bach, right? Music like this in an environment where you actually read and you pull stress away, this will make you smarter. The frequencies that you take into your body, the music that you listen to, it affects your brain. And then, if you do all of that and then you don't masturbate, men and women, you will have more energy. Okay, for 30 days, no drinking, no smoking, go to the gym, drink a lot of water, fruit, veggies, right? Good protein, substitute with creatine monohydrate, 15 to 20 grams a day for 7 days, then a 5 gram, that's a loading phase. Do this and watch how your brain gets better. Yeah, it's like everything in your life. And the semen retention manuscript, I'm not going to say it's the all be all, but ancient cultures came to this conclusion. Fighters, before you fight Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, before you do any event, right, you hold your energy. Football players do the same thing. Hold your energy. There's something to that. That's all I'm going to say. You can think it's crazy. You can think that I'm nuts. Maybe I am nuts. But I'm sitting here telling you guys, these are things that help me become a stronger version of myself. Take it for what it is. Take it for what it is. Let's see. Yep, excessive masturbation is actually something, what it does is excessive masturbation is tied to procrastination, which is tied to depression, and depression is the body's, so you have chemicals in your head like serotonin, I think it's oxytocin, is that what it is? And serotonin, and then you had another one. Let me look it up real quick. I always forget. So I'm going to look at them real quick. Shane, 36. Yeah, so you have serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin, GABA, glutamine, norepinephrine, endorphins, glutamate. So here's a list right here, right? So you have these, right? You have serotonin, which is the mood stabilizer, and you have dopamine, which is the reward, and oxytocin. This is what, when you fall for a guy who ignores you, right? You get ignored, and then he gives you a little bit of attention, you release a lot of oxytocin. Just so you know, women, if a guy ignores you, and then you get sad, and then he gives you some attention, he's literally stimulating high oxytocin reactions in your brain. It's what people do when, how do I say this? It's a woman's natural reaction to want oxytocin when you give childbirth. And also, interesting fact, when women engage in more sexual activity, they become less depressed because there's chemicals and nutrients in semen that regulate their hormones. So it's just everything is so beautifully fixed in this world. It's one of the most craziest things. So hopefully I won't look too fat for you guys. You know, trying to stay strong. But what is it? So it's getting ready for bedtime. This is what I'll say, right? And then they blow you off for caring. Jimmy White, welcome back. Yeah, but it's kind of like, it's an interesting concept, right? If you're depressed, chances are, right, men and women, you're not getting, like, isolation is okay. It's okay to isolate yourself from a toxic environment, but you still need things that release some of these hormones. Educating yourself, going out into the world and getting sunlight, being around animals. This is why having a pet dog or a pet cat or whatever. Well, Cameron, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that, Cameron. Is it that people are too, and then also, guys, GABA. GABA, if you look right here, GABA, you see that says GABA? That says GABA. GABA, calming agent. So I tell people all the time, if you want to stay calm and regulate your hormones, GABA. When I take GABA at night, I sleep better. Is it that people are too good for other people? So, chivalry is dead, offend, ignored, entitled. But is that true? Or are people just trying to preserve their own peace? Sometimes people just want to preserve their own peace, which I get. Sometimes people just want to preserve their own peace. But I also do find, I have found in recent times that it does seem that people are more entitled, which I don't know if that's good or bad. Seems bad. I don't know how to fix it, guys. And I can't fix it because what I've come to the conclusion of, there's only one thing that I can do. I can work on myself. And when the opportunity comes to change someone's life and to be nice, I can do my best to try to help. If that person doesn't want to receive that, I'm not going to waste the energy to try to go further. Take care of you. Don't be too nice. Be good. Be responsible. But don't let people walk over you. For example, if I'm standing at a stopwalk, well, that may be true, Cameron. Well, Cameron, that may be true, but just keep this in mind too. In today's world, a lot of people are fighting a battle that we know nothing about. Sometimes I think sometimes I want to, here, I'm going to put these on. You can probably hear me better with this. Can you guys hear me a little bit better now? We're going to get into the talk portion since the piano's done. We'll put that there. Squirrel, squirrel. It's kind of like this, guys. There comes a time in life where, at least this was for me, I do care about other people, but most of the people that really cared about me before I moved, they only cared about me because they wanted something from me. Before I moved out to Georgia and had my divorce, I mean, I had a bank with a lot of money in it, 2 houses, and people came over because they wanted something from me. So it's not true for everybody now, but you'll find out who your friends are when they realize you're not, like, you want friends who aren't just going to be around you because you have something to offer them. You know what I mean? You want people that genuinely care about you for who you are, right? And what I have found is a lot of people in this world just don't have a standard. They don't want to live a certain way. They don't want to be productive. And I don't really get along with those people. So, yeah. What is this saying? I didn't see what Kaylin wrote. What did she write? What did Kaylin write? Yeah, a fundamental breakdown in trust. Well, I think in today's world, a lot of people have been hurt, right? A lot of people have been hurt. There's a lot of hurt people. So what do?
Can you blame someone for having their guard up in today's world where so many people are fake? Can you blame people for that? I mean, how often do you talk to someone who just wants to say hello without getting anything from you? The society in the world has turned into that type of society, at least in the cities. When I lived in San Diego, I saw that from the city. Now in the country, it's different. The more you get to the country, the more you get to the country folks. It was like this in China too. The people in China and the country folks, I found to be very beautiful people. The deeper we got into the country, the more love people had for the common person. Denver tagging in. Denver made. I love your screen name, brother. Hi, I'm from Arizona. Welcome back from Arizona. Guys, we're at 58 likes. If you're enjoying the little talk here, shout out. 60 likes, I think, will be a new record. And yeah, guys, just a quick consensus. In the future, if I made a little community where I talked about sobriety and becoming the best version of yourself, would you guys be curious? Because I'm thinking about making a community in the future where people can come in and just hang out just like this. But I'm thinking about using the school community, the SKOOL. I've got a friend doing it. I was thinking about making a free area just like YouTube, but it would be more interactive. You guys could still talk to each other, right? I'm thinking about making a school community. Cameron loves the idea. And in that school community, there'll be a free little area where all y'all to talk. And then there may be like a paid membership to where if you want to get exclusive lessons or courses, stuff I've learned in my life. But the base community won't cost you anything. It won't. But you'll be able to engage with each other a little bit more. Yeah. See, I'm thinking about doing that. Gentleman Gaming. Yeah. So the whole purpose of it is this is something I have noticed. Okay, let me tell you my perspective. My perspective is coming from someone with a 15-year-old mother who I was supposed to be aborted as a child. Literally, my mother, right? Coffee before bed. Don't you judge me. Don't you judge me, Mr. Porter. Mr. Porter, how dare you judge my. I mix coffee with my GABA root before bed. Don't you judge me, sir. That's funny. Ahad Remen. Wow. Whoa, what is this? I'm red. I'm reading this post real quick. Yes, GABA. Well, GABA actually, guys, in case you can't tell when I talk, you see how hard it is for me to focus? I've got a lot of ADHD, and it's something I've battled with my whole life. In some ways, people call me a genius, and other ways, I'm like a child. So supposedly I'm on the spectrum. I don't really care what people think. I live in my own little world, but that's okay. Everybody knows me there. God, you got all this stuff in here. Swiftly sleeping. Yeah, coffee before bed is no bueno. Practice what you preach. Ah, well, let me tell you this, Antonio. He who is not sin, cast your first stones. I make a habit out of not judging other people. Maybe a little bit of empathy in your life can go a long way. That's my expression. Yeah, I do like math and stuff. I'm actually better at math than I am English. But no, these coffees are yummy. And when I get off of this, because I moved from the West Coast a few months ago, I'm still like in a time zone to where I usually don't go to bed till midnight. My mom is a great alcoholic. Well, there you go. Yeah, but yeah, so the community, 60 likes, that's a record. So, guys, the thing is this I am far from perfect, but one of the things I do have is consistency. One of the things that has separated me in anything I've ever done from my friends and my family is consistency. You know, that's just one thing. No matter how smart you are, no matter how good you are, if you're not consistent, the guy who's consistent or the gal, they will defeat you, right? Um, so here's what I was thinking. I'm considering starting a school community. I'm going to post a link. I'm going to make a page, and what I want to do is build a community to where everyone in that community is going to engage with each other and help each other along their journeys. And I may even have some people who have overcome things. For example, when I was really young, or before I was born, my mother was 15 years old and she tried to abort me. She had $900 in her hand. She snuck away from my father and tried to abort me, right? So when you think about that, it's kind of, it's no big deal, I guess, but you know, I remember growing up, and my mom did her best to raise me, but growing up, was really difficult. I went to school without shoes on. I was beat up a lot. I was real skinny because we were really poor. Um, I was stuck in a room by myself with my mom because my mom got beat by my father, right? So we were in a pig farm. She had escaped. My mother used to get beat up by my dad, but my mom was also kind of like a lot of women are. She would push, push, push. She had 9 brothers and sisters. There was a lot of drugs and violence and stuff. We grew up then on a pig farm. I used to be in a room by myself with no interaction. So me growing up, I used to stutter when I was a kid, right? So like, I'm not very, like, that's how I used to talk as a kid. So you see me now, and everyone's like, wow, you are whatever. And it's like, guys, you have no idea the journey that I've been on in my life. It took me so much work to actually get to where I'm at. And then once I got settled and built the business, then I went through a divorce and lost 2 houses and millions of dollars and had to restart. So the community, I want to bring people together who had these cool stories and give them a place to engage. Kind of think of it like a church, but not a church. I want a church atmosphere that if somebody wants to talk about God or Jesus, whatever, but it's more of a community based around empathy, but it's not actually titled to any single religious idea. It's more of a group of people who just want to relate to other people and surround themselves like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, and yeah, I grew up in a church. I had a godfather, right? I was Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm saying, Elsa. And then I want to inspire other young men and women to become entrepreneurs and build their own business. And eventually, just so you guys know, I do have a business in the state of Georgia that sells insurance. And eventually, if someone ever wanted to learn that business, then hey, yeah, MVP family. Yeah, welcome, MVP. We do our best, man. Look, I don't know what other streamers do. I don't watch other streamers. I'm just an entrepreneur who's building a business after a divorce. I play some music theory. I read about a lot of different things, and I'm working on building a community. And every time I go live, I get more views. Every time I go live, people give me thumbs ups. And I've noticed a trend. Is the Kraken back? Oh, guys, be careful. There's a Kraken in the chat. And beware because the Kraken, if I remember the Kraken, he shows up and he's going to try to get you. So just be aware there's a Kraken in here. Welcome back, Kraken. Kraken, where are you at today? Huh? Who's Kraken? Kraken, what have you been up to, Kraken? But yeah, I am this close to starting a school community near Japan. Oh boy. Well, good thing. Okay. You have any victims over there near Japan? Anybody you're thinking about taking out? Oh my Krakens. He said, "Oh my Krakens, there's a Godzilla." Well, of all the trolls that come into the chat, the Kraken seems to be one that's pretty good. He says, "Not the school. I love school because I have a girl I like but like." So MVP, I don't really know what you're saying there. My school that I'm thinking about doing is like a school community, SKOOL. But yeah, I'm gonna eventually get it done. I got a lot on my plate, but I really am gonna crack down and do it. But what are you talking about, MVP family? You said my dad was an alcoholic. My mom passed away when I was 2, so I had to live with him, and he was just really abusive. So I was 18. Oh yeah, Eleanor. Eleanor, see exactly. Wouldn't it be cool for you guys to have a community where you guys could talk amongst yourself, and I'll come in from time to time and do like some live chats. There'll be like a free space for everyone to kind of chill, engage with each other, and make it so everyone who's engaging, the YouTube will have some trolls from time to time, but the school community, that community will just be for people to come in, hang out. There'll be a leaderboard. You can do comments. And then eventually, I might put some courses on like finance or business that you could purchase if you wanted to, but there's no obligation. Like, I'm not going to say you have to do this. No, there's going to be a free community where people to hang out. And then if you want to like engage and get a little bit, more in depth or some stuff, there'll be an option for that. And I may even make it for an affiliate link that if you bring anyone into the school and whatever, then there could be something there. But yeah, Cameron, you seem to like that idea. So you would definitely be, he says, I'm very fast at cracking. Yeah. Well, no, well, MVP family, what's really funny is like essentially think of a school, but it's going to be a digital school on the school platform, right? There's a platform that's pretty popular right now, and they have like a pretty good deal going on. And I'm thinking about building like a little community little school. So he says, I'm at the Caribbean. That's interesting. So I've got German and Viking heritage and Anglo-Saxon, so I'm a mutt from that region. But according to my blood work, we're all African. Everybody says we all come from Africa. But German, Viking, Anglo-Saxon with some Irish. Time to wreck the Black Pearl ship thingy. I You're the smartest dumb guy I know. Ah, well, thank you. Would you rather be the smartest dumb guy someone knows or the dumbest smart guy that someone knows? I don't know. Yeah. I'm Viking. Eh, I don't know. I'm not qualified to answer that. But a lot of the not biologists, what is it, archaeologists? Well, biologists study life, and then archaeologists dig up things. So, hmm. I feel like our roots come back to like the Mesopotamia region, but I don't know. Uh-huh. Yeah, but don't believe everything you hear or read for sure. Holy cow. It's like I'm smoking weed in middle school all over again. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'll tell you right now, if you want your life to be better, don't drink, don't smoke. That's one of the things I like to talk about on the channel. I think if you guys become sober, right? Don't drink, don't smoke. If you're a guy or gal and you do any form of masturbation, if it gets out of hand, I think you should stop doing that. I think you should go outside, get some sunlight, learn to breathe, train your body to be stronger, go to the gym, and read and start a business. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, like I said, he said, how many nuts a week is acceptable? If you look at the semen retention manuscripts, which I have the ancient archives, it's a collection of ancient, it's basically a collection of ancient civilizations that have come and gone. And it talks about what they had discovered, which gives men and women the most amount of energy. Well, think of it this way, right? Imagine you're a salmon and you're swimming, right? The salmon that swim upstream before they, you know, basically ejaculate. Once they do that, they die. If you look around nature, everything in nature that gives off its sexual energy, it typically dies afterwards. Humans are kind of an exception in this way. But I find that the more of that energy that we hold, I think the Indian culture, what is it called? One of you guys will probably know in the chat, but there's like a biryani, or I forget what it's called. Um, my music, what is? TMI though. Oh, it says different bone structure. The people of Africa and Semitic peoples compared to the East Asians and white people. Right. Well, you could also look at people like dogs. I always look at people like dogs. When you look at dogs, you have skinny dogs, you have little dogs, you have big dogs, you have fat dogs, skinny dogs, long-haired dogs. People are kind of like dogs. There's different types of dogs and there's different types of people. Some people are like mesomorphic, ectomorphic, endomorphic. Some are fat, some are skinny, different pigments, different skin textures, you know. He said, I ate it out. Oh, yeah, M. Quism. It's called biryani. Hello, Puerto Rico. Aguada Zik. She was just floating. Oh, my God. The Kraken ate it. Hey, I'm from Turkiv. Hey, what's up, brother? How are you today? Yeah, so we're just doing a quick little chat. Yeah, he said he ate the dog. Guys, beware, just for everyone in the chat, we do have a live crack. Guys, beware, we do have a live Kraken in the chat. So just keep this in mind. The Kraken that's in this chat, if you don't watch out, he may eat you. To an extent, yes, but there is still bone structure to the point of coming from a different Homo species far enough back to the genome, making enough genetic differences to be considered different. Yeah, so this is where I'm not educated enough to give that example. But if you have a different genome and a different Homo species, I mean, I don't know. It's just nobody knows what happened in the beginning. I don't think the human mind, see, we live in this world where we're finite. I don't think people are ever going to understand origins, and I don't really think life is long enough to even conceptualize it. I think it's cool to study. Um, but there comes a point, at least in my life, where I try to learn as much as I can, but also understand the limitations to the human mind. Still pursue knowledge, obviously, but there's going to come a point in your life where you just realize, Mr. Rogan Joe podcast, what is this? Um, and my phone is waterproof. Well, a Kraken, if you're a Kraken, you gotta have a waterproof phone. Hey, Gwenda Zink, I don't really like a squid. I don't really look like a squid. No, a Kraken, well, do you know Amr Khan? What is that? Imran Khan, Chasm, not off the top of my head. What is up with Roy? Annexation of Puerto Rico. The annexation of Puerto Rico. How is your day going? My day is going very well. We were very productive. And to be truthful, I'm doing an experiment where I'm trying to go live. Guys, you don't realize this, but I've been live for 2 hours. There's been at least 10 to 40 people here. If 10 people stay in this live for 120 minutes, that's 1,200 minutes. 1,200, right? 1,200 divided by 60. So then you've got 60, 20. What's that, like 20 hours? So 20 hours added to that. If I keep going live, I thought about trying to go live for a long time, like hours and hours for the next few weeks and get fully monetized, just to kind of do an experiment. So it's basically, if I'm not working in the office, which is over there, if I'm not working in my office, playing piano, eating or going into the gym, I'm pretty much streaming live. I want to see if I could actually like become monetized and then those disgusting human fish. What are you talking about, Kraken? Yeah, thank you, Elsa. Yeah. Do your neighbors play music? No. One of my neighbors has an autistic child. She comes over sometimes. Her name is Paisley. I wrote a song for her. I was saying, I met a girl named Paisley. She is simply amazing. Today we wrote a song. Hey, Paisley, let's write a song. And no, she's just kind of like, "Yeah." But when we play the piano, she goes, ah, and she gets really happy. And I'm not saying that to be mean. That's literally how she acts. But she's kind of autistic, right? And yeah, essentially, it kind of inspires me. So I wrote her a little song. They look like Shableep. Thank you, Mayap. Mayap Music. I was pleased to meet you. I subscribed and liked because I loved your conversation. Oh, well, Mayap, thank you so much. Mayap, if you enjoy the conversation, um, just so you know, if you do music and you're starting a channel, some people come in here with no subscribers. And one of the things that I want to do is I'd like to build a community. And here's the idea, guys. Everybody will come to a free community that I'll build on the school platform, right? And then if someone starts a YouTube channel, everybody on the platform who is part of that community will all work together to help every other person's like YouTube grow organically by just liking and commenting. I feel like that's not a bad thing to do. And, you know, let's say you want to learn more about what I do, which is closing deals. Nobody believes this, but YouTube is kind of an alter ego. And when I'm not on here, I'm a completely different person. I'm kind of the same person, but when I get in sales mode, it's like data, sales, close, make money. That's kind of like a one side of me. But I'm trying to keep my authentic, loving, interconnective childhood persona. I'm trying to keep that alive, and the attempt is to do it through the YouTube stream. And I'm attempting to articulate and basically document um, information through the YouTube Live, essentially. Can I play Vienna? I cannot. By the way, I look like the 2010. Every stream is different wisdom. Well, thank you, Cameron. Yeah, Cameron comes to a lot of my streams, and he's my moderator. He comes into a lot. Cameron, how on earth am I supposed to, like, guys, when October gets here, October, November, December, I'm going to be working a lot because that's open enrollment for insurance. And, you know, my number is trying to get 50 to 200 applications for Medicare. And I'm telling you guys, that's like every 50 applications is like $25,000 for the month of January. So imagine I get like 200. That's 25, 50, that's $100,000 for the month of January, right? It's very possible. I'm in the deep sea right now. Kraken. What's crack-a-lackin'? No, I have not. No, I have not. Pick a few and rock it hard. What is this? Indecisive. Libras are known for, oh my goodness. Libras are known for indecisiveness. Pick a few and rock it hard. Yeah, I think Libras are about balance too. I wouldn't say that I'm indecisive always, but I just have extreme, here's the thing. I have extreme awareness for the consequences of things that other people can't see. Thus, I balance out the options very carefully. I really do feel like a lot of times people that just make decisions, I've made a lot of bad decisions and a lot of good decisions in my life. And I just feel like I've done enough stuff in my life to see the consequences unfold. And many times when I'm in a conversation with someone who's about to make a choice, I feel like life is like a skyscraper and they're on like level 3 and I'm on like level 12. And there's something coming that I'm trying to tell them, whoa, there's a big tsunami coming in. You need to get up here to level 12. We need to get up to the roof so we don't die. And they're just like, no, I don't see anything. But by the time they see it, it's too late. And coming closer and closer, the Kraken comes closer. There's a massive glowing orb in front of me. You're smart enough to not be sorry. Yeah, that's actually a habit I tried to break this year, trying to be sorry. Or maybe, just maybe, So, guys, wrapping up this chat, I'm at 143 minutes. And when people come into this chat, in case anyone's in the background and they want to ask a question, I'd like to know, what are some things like this is a genuine space where, other than the Kraken who's coming in, the Kraken's going to troll and he's going to try to bite and eat everybody because that's what the Kraken does. And I appreciate the Kraken because he gives me a lot of comments. Shout out to our Kraken, our favorite troll on the channel. Shout out to you, Kraken. This is a chance to kind of pick my brain. I try to keep race, religion, and politics off the table. But pick my brain, guys. You're talking to a former top producer. Look, I'm not trying to sound arrogant, but you're talking to someone who's a former top producer in a Fortune 5,000 company in California, where I literally built a business in an office with a phone and a computer under Nick Reese at Agent Elite, right? I was making great money, was being a top producer. Then I went through a bunch of changes in my life, and I'm starting another business in Georgia. There's so little to pick. That's the problem. You think there's so little to pick? Well, I'll give you some ideas. Have you ever been depressed? Have you ever overcome depression? Yeah, so polls are the best way to do that. But yeah, I should do more polls. When I'm on my computer, you can, but I can't do a poll from my phone unless you guys tell me I'm doing something wrong. But I guess next time I'll get to my laptop like I do other times. Today, I'm just not going to do it. So, okay, Kiara says I'm depressed. So let's do this. Kiara, let's have an engagement. Just think about this. How many times does someone actually pick someone, right? Right. So how many times, that's why he's a moderator, and he's going to stay a moderator. By the way, you're welcome, Osho. You're welcome to contribute to the channel. If you're going to be a troll, be a good troll. But, whoa, Elsa, why did you do that to Kira? She said she was depressed. I was actually going, oh. Hey, Elsa, I thought Kira asked a question. I thought she said that. Promo model, you're still here. Yeah, who is, let's see. Why did you do that? I felt like she said she was depressed and I was going to answer her question. Oh, can you reverse that by any chance? Is there a way to reverse that? Yeah, because I wanted to answer Kira's question. You're going to eat one of my past viewers? Well, Kraken, if you're going to eat anyone, go eat some of the haters. But not the haters that leave a lot of comments, right? Sometimes we like the comments. Yeah, so I was kind of sad, but she said she was depressed, and then you she said she was depressed, and then that's not good. That's like we want people to express them. Yeah, Kiara, that was a mistake, just so you know. 30 minutes? What? Is there a way to fix that? Let's see. See, this is something time for me to learn. Oh, man. So, Kiara, if you're still here in the chat, apologize for that. But nobody's perfect. All I can say is next time, you come back on the channel, I promise you this, that you will get first privilege to ask a question, because one of the things that she she was sent into the void. Oh my gosh, hopefully the Kraken doesn't find her. Casually pushes the boat back. Kraken, listen, Kraken, you're going to need to stop rocking that boat. But okay. So, promo model, she was sent into the void. This is a chance to where, look, I know people put music and do all this engagement, but do you hear me, Kraken? Yeah, for sure. I'm not mad, just so you guys know. I'm very empathetic. Now, listen, if I feel like the moderators, like, there's one moderator who's in question. Sometimes Deputy King comes in here, and sometimes I'm curious about Deputy King from the penal police system. He's a very interesting moderator. We've got our eyes on him, but I still like him. If he actually was a Marine, he's fine. But I also know that some people come in here and pretend to be people, and I do check on their profiles, right? I cannot. Yeah. If you've paid attention, you kind of know. But at the end of the day, if someone's gonna create a alternate ego, they're gonna come into the chat. I'm gonna let them go with it, guys. You know, don't show all your cards. Don't show all your cards. But anyone into the channel, if you're watching this and you're kind of like, this is an interesting channel. For some reason, I am still here. Oh, crack, there's a demon rabbit thingy floating near me. Well, be careful, Kraken. We don't want you to be possessed by a demon. Lord help us if you were possessed. But let's say someone's depressed. They have no inspiration. They don't know what they want to do in life. They're stuck in a 9 to 5. They have no idea what the next stages in life is. They're having an existential crisis. They want to get into health and wellness. They want to learn how to cook something yummy. Like, any of these are things that who is your favorite UFC fighter? Actually, that's a great question. Get this Labu crap. I'll tell you right now, one of my favorite fighters right now is Kamsat Chimaev versus DDP. This channel will become monetized. I've done told you guys, if I ever, here's the goal. If I ever got monetized on this channel with enough live content for all of you people, for everything that you do, I would take the profit from that, right? And I would donate it to people who help me build the channel. You see, I'd want to do something like Mr. Beast. I wouldn't keep that all for myself. Why would I do that? I'm not very materialistic. Like, you look around and there's nice things in here, but I'm telling you, live to get monetized, teach entrepreneurship, sell some courses, have a school community, offer subscription-based memberships. There's also free in case you can't afford it. But to separate yourself from the group, there'll be a next community. Any profit that comes into that or monetized to YouTube will be redistributed into the network. Imagine that. Wouldn't that lied? Don't know what that means. Kraken Void. Lied? Don't know who Julian Edwards. But I really do feel like that would be a good model. If you've never been to my channel and you've never been to my lives, anyone who's been here long enough knows I'm not lying about that. Right? Because you think about it, you got to think that money coming in, if I redistribute it, it puts me in a lower tax bracket, so I can make a tax deferred account. See what I mean? So essentially, I could have a bunch of money coming in without income, change other people's lives, give you the money, and then by giving y'all the money back, then y'all could even purchase a better membership and it could flow back and forth through a tax deferred account. I'm telling you. He said, Jimmy, I'm talking to you right now. So it's actually definitely possible. It is absolutely possible. But it's going to be hard to get monetized in the beginning. I have already done 2 of the 3 qualifications, and I'm up to 500 hours. No, 400. I need 3,000 live hours. Now, that sounds like a lot, but if I get 20 people, if I get 10 people to watch for an hour, that's 60 minutes times 10. That's 600 minutes. Divided by 12, 600 minutes divided by 60 would be 10. That would be 10 hours. So, essentially, if I can get 50, so you scale that, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10 times 10, I could leverage the algorithm. So, that is the goal. Literally, if I'm not working in my office, I'm going to be live streaming. That's kind of what I'd like to do. So, build the community. Is Kiara back yet? Ray Orbison, thank you. And you got to think, you guys could be part of the very first, because look, am I the best editor? No. But how many people actually go live and talk to you like I do? Like seriously, how many people give raw? Like I'm not going to go live just to do a bunch of stupid shit to get views. Maybe if there was enough money in it, I would do that. But I actually want to teach you guys, I have to pee real quick. I actually want to teach you guys business skills, right? Just any type of thing that's going to make your life easier. And again, sometimes the only thing that you need in life, you just need someone to believe in you more than you believe in yourself. And that's going for myself too, guys. You know, that's going for me too, not just for you guys. I ate her at tasting. What did he say? We make mistakes. That's very deep, bro. Just kidding. Yeah, it's kind of like we all leverage each other on this planet. Why not all of us get together into a community, right? I'll be the voice. Let me be the voice. You got to remember, most of this stuff I'm just going off the top of my head. If I have a script or I actually have a plan in front of me, to where when I do my business presentations, I have a piece of paper that keeps me on track, I'm a pretty decent speaker, so they say. Now, if I'm just going freestyle, you got to remember, I'm just going freestyle on here with you. Washed my hands pretty quick. Yep. I guess you didn't see the alcohol sanitation, the sanitation wipes I have in my bathroom, or the hand sanitizer, or like the 7 different products I have in there. But I do appreciate your concern. By the way, you see that tricep? Triceps came in. You know what made my triceps larger this year? Anybody want to take a guess? See, my triceps aren't huge, but I am 6'4". See that sucker hanging off the bone? It's getting there. I actually did something that actually made my triceps bigger. You know what it was? I started pressing heavier weight. Instead of doing that slow and controlled stuff, I started doing more explosive football training, and I got thicker. It was interesting. Well, it wasn't just bench press, although bench press was part of it. It was how I did it. It was incline and flat and dumbbell, but it was more explosive, tucking my lats and using my whole body to get stronger. So we'll move into a theory in weight training. It's called the training theory is called radiation, right? Dude, let's hide your girl around the sky. Ha ha. That's funny, Tony. Um, oh, my best PR on bench. Well, I'm almost 40. So right now, I haven't PR'd on bench in a while. I usually just work out with 225 to 255. But I'm pretty sure I could get 315 to 350 if I just pushed really hard. Um, I do believe in getting stronger, but I also, because I'm older, you got to remember, guys, I'm almost 40, right? So when I go really heavy, I like to use machines to help stabilize me because I don't want to get injured. I don't want to rip a rotator cuff. My best bench when I was younger, I was never really good at flat bench, but with dumbbells, I could take 150-pound dumbbells and do like 8 reps. So, the thing with me is when I do flat bench, I have this lump in my collarbone right here. I don't know if you can see it right here. But stabilizing the bar, I never can find that groove. So I kind of like the dumbbells, um, if that answers your question. The Nautilus. Well, I'll tell you what, when you're taller, bench, I mean, it all depends on how you're built. It depends on a lot of things, your anatomical limbs. I'm very wide and have long arms. So when I bench, unless I really tuck and do close grip, and because I was such a natural puller, I always had a heavy deadlift. I always lifted a lot of heavy deadlifts when I was younger. At my peak, what is this? Isabel Humphrey, and you look like you're 35. Huh? Maybe. Um, I'm a little bit older than 35, but thank you. Where's y'all's bottles? Guys, if when I was in high school, I was a runner, so I ran a lot. I was pretty strong on the farm, but I always found that when I got stronger, I got thicker. Okay? That's just something I've noticed about training. If you get stronger, you get thicker, right? That doesn't necessarily mean you build the most amount of muscle through isolation, but man, I'm telling you, if you get stronger, you get thicker. Simple as that. Simple as that. You get stronger, you get thicker. The headset is so gay. Oh, well, thank you. Yep. I like my headset. Partially because I can do this and it mutes. This is actually one of the first headsets that I bought when I was doing sales in San Diego. This is a Jabra Evolve 2S, in case you're wondering. Which age comes girth. Oh, that's right. Never go to a gym where girls film themselves. Well, I'll say this, the gym that we go to, there's a couple professional bodybuilders there, and one of them's a female. She'll film herself from time to time, but she's not a butthole about it. And, you know, we have a couple NPC professional bodybuilders and competitors at the gym. Here's the thing, guys. When I'm in the gym, I don't really care what other people are doing. I'm kind of selfish when I train. But yeah, I can feel you on that. I am drinking my protein shake. This right here has about 25 grams. The older I get, I try to stay in shape. Could be in better shape, could be in worse shape. But believe it or not, I'm actually a lot busier. This is a whole new experience I'm doing on live. A lot of I just got invited earlier. Let's pull this text message. I got a text message where people want me to go to the beach this weekend. And I just want to work and then try to get monetized on YouTube and also work on my contracts. No, I don't do workouts live. Now, when I work out, I'm in the zone. I don't think I'll ever do any of my workouts live. That's kind of like my me time. You know what I mean? Flabby arms? No, okay. Whatever you say, brother. Whatever you say. Put the computer on. Oh, I know you love your coffee, your cold coffee. Well, I like the cold coffees because I got 12 cases for free, right? So I've got like 12, I got like 70 of them. And I like these little proteins because I did a full body workout today. And I don't think it's necessary, but 170 calories. Yeah, it's got some canola oil in it, but it's pretty clean. No signal. What on earth is going on here? I guess, oh, I know, it's shut down. That's right. That's right. Do, 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 do. Guys, also, just so you know, if you're going to train in the gym, train to be an athlete. Don't just train to get big, swole, like muscles that are just like full of water. Actually, train to be an athlete. That's my best advice I can give you. It will pay off. Hey, Elts. Nice standing desk. Thank you. I appreciate it. You know what I love most about my standing desk? I can push this button right here and watch this. It can go down. I built this desk. So let's say I didn't want my chair. He says, I'm a big fan of trap bar deadlifts. Actually, promo model, trap bar deadlifts, the hex bar, because the weight is distributed on your side, when you do a deadlift like this versus in front, it takes load off the spine. If you train Division I football players, people who want to be powerful but still be able to practice, that's their best. They use trap bar deadlifts to basically emphasize the weight on their hamstring and glutes versus their lower back. So yes, very good exercise, the trap bar deadlift, 100%. And this is my chair. So let's say that I'm here, right? Crazy how lighting changes everything, right? So this is my yoga ball chair, and I have my standing desk. And if I don't want to stand, this is my light right here. Got my light. Night light on, reading mode on, changes the color of brightness. It's crazy how light changes everything. And this is right up through here. Yep. See how it changes the color? And this one's adjustable right here. I hook it in. So remember, guys, this is my desk. So yeah, it's almost like I'm a damn professional. Like I said, guys, almost like I'm a professional. All my licenses I have, my binder, all the licenses. I keep all my paperwork, all my files for all my clients over there. Almost like I'm an entrepreneur. Almost like it, right? Well, you're a Kraken. Of course you would have a better setup than me, Kraken. So, what's on the playlist while I train? I listen to two things. I either listen to classical music, because when I train, here's the thing. If you want to get into raw, heavy lifting, I'm all about some fast death metal, speed metal, Kill Switch Engage, Megadeth, brothers in metal. But sometimes I find when I want to be my strongest, instead of just some of my best PRs in the gym have been from classical music and fully concentrating without, because the thing is, if you scream rah, you actually let some of that energy loose. So the goal is to ramp yourself up and get going, but not expel too much. You want to ramp yourself up without allowing that energy to leave your body, if that makes sense. So I'm either death metal or classic. For example, let's say I'm in the gym and I want to listen to something that's more hardcore, what I would call hardcore. Maybe Brothers of Metal, something like this. Um, I'll find one here. Loki, Power Snake. I like Power Snake. My studio speakers, just so you know. The Kraken listens to Pirate of the Caribbean. But you got to remember, I don't just lift weights. I also do sprints. I do a lot of running, so I'm more of an athlete. I'm not a bodybuilder. Just to be big and swole and not be able to run a mile or do anything else is silly. I want to be big, strong, and fast. Doesn't make sense to have big muscles if you tire out. Doesn't make sense to be small without strength. So I'm like a hybrid athlete. Of course, you gotta like Dragon Force. I like Dragon Force. I like this song by them. Was it? I wanted to know if that new Happy Gilmore. I still haven't seen it. I don't see a lot of movies. Probably should see more movies, guys. Like if I'm not working, I'm doing live stream. If I'm not doing that, I'm sleeping. By the way, for the guy who was in here earlier, the Semen Retention Manuscript. This is the book I was talking to you about. This is my bookshelf. Some books I recommend. I've got the Book of Unusual Knowledge, the Dictionary of Words of Origin, right? The Book of Unusual Knowledge, Nikola Tesla's books. I've got stuff on Nikola Tesla, which I want to get through too. The Life and Times, the Colorado Spring Notes, America's Provisional History, Worst Case Scenario, Tesla Coil Design, right? The Words You Should Know to Sound Smart. Here's a good book. William O'Neill, How to Make Money in the Stock Market. Here's another one, How to Take Smart Notes, How to Build Your Own Programming Robot. So, yeah. This is a cool one, though. No joke. So, this is a word like dismay. The origin of words, digest. Does anybody, somebody tell me a word and I'll tell you the origin of it. Anybody want to know the origin of the word? Kraken. Let's see the origin of a kraken. I wonder if the origin of the word kraken is in here. Kraken, do you know your origin? Let's see. Krack. If kraken is in here, I might be really happy. JK. K. Kraken. Kraken. What's the origin of the word kraken? Oh, there's no origin. Give me a word, guys. Dead. The word dead, the origin. So this is the origin. The history is of more than 8,000 English words. So you want to look up the origin of the word dead? My moderator, Cameron, I call on you. Is this a good idea, the origin of a word? Do you think this might be an interesting thing to do? Then we can all get smarter together. Would you guys like to get smarter together? Give me a word. I have 8,000 words to choose from the origin. You literally got the origin right here. Destitute. Okay. He said fart. Oh, come on, guys. Your IQs have got to be collectively higher than to say the C word, but come on now. Let's see here. Cameron said destitute. Dead. Well, the dead is part of a Germanic family of adjectives, including tot, dud, Swedish dod, Gothic dus, which come from a prehistoric German adjective dahas, dus, dahas. This is a term that's earlier from du hatos, which was past participle of the verb phrase eventually produced English die. The word's ultimate source was Indo-European, which have linked with Greek thanatos, dead. What the hell does that mean? What is this? Molly, can you please shout out to my son Dennis, Tap, and Raid? Is this a troll thing? Is this a, let's see. Am I missing this? Dennis Tappenrid. Maybe I'm too slow to understand what that means. But it says, Dennis. I have a feeling that you're a troll, but let's see. Dennis? That's not Denise. Dennis, Tap, and Raid. Huh. I am Kraken. Thank you, Alex. Welcome. I'm not a... Well, that's right. Actually, a kraken is not a squid. It actually is an octopus, right? Yeah, because a kraken is like an octopus. It's not a cephalopod. Squid is a cephalopod, right? Right. And that's another thing. Would you rather be a giant squid or a giant octopus? For the record, an octopus is amazing. What was a word? What was the destitute? Destitute, D-E-S. No, it wasn't destitute. Endearment. Oh, they are a cephalopod? Okay. Endearment. 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 Sometimes I think Cameron Porter reminds me of Stephen Atkinson. Endeavor. Let's see. Endearment's not in here. It's got endeavor, endorse, endow, endure, enemy. Enemy is literally someone who is not a friend. The word comes from Old French enemi, from Latin inimicus, inimicus, a compound formed from the prefix in, not, and amicus friend, the late Latin derivative inimicalis produced English inimical. All this does is make me realize how dumb I am when I read these books. Anybody else feel dumb when they read? Or is it just me? What's Google say? Nah, dude. I'm not looking at Google. I'm looking at John Aito. He's a writer and lexicographer, and this is from New York. So, Arcade Publishing. Now, I'm going to use the book, although Google might be something. So, yeah, but actually, maybe this. What if I read you guys?
Let's go, guys. Hello. Hello, it's time for story time with Uncle Chris.
66. Let's go for 70. The Book of Unusual Knowledge. I don't like reading, but I like having read. Oh, Adam Byrne. That's actually really cool. I'm a Brooklyn Bridge. Paradigm. Ho. All right, how about we do this? The Dogs of War. Even man's best friend was drafted into military service during World War II. The four-legged oh, did you know that? The four-legged soldiers protected their two-legged comrades. In fact, no patrol led by a war dog was ever ambushed or fired upon without warning. Did you know that? That's pretty cool. Favorite book of all time, please? The one I can finish. The one I can finish is, man, guys, the book I can, let's go Theo Vaughn for a second. Yeah, man, I was raised by a family of squirrels, so, books were hard to come by when I was younger. So my favorite books, man, just the ones the squirrels didn't eat alive. You know what I mean? The King in Yellow. Yeah, I just try to look smart when I'm on a podcast. Love Theo Vaughn. Yeah. Yeah, we ate an owl one time. We were in our family. Yeah. Well, I guess everybody knows now. Shout out. So, the Dogs of War in World War II. Isabel Humphrey. Uh, yeah, not a lot of meat on an owl. Well, this is what I can say about eating an owl. There's not a lot of meat on an owl. Yeah, I mean, I try. Well, you're very welcome, Isabel. Well, this is the business, just so you know, when I talk about business and stuff. This is like, I have this email, then I have this email. All of these are the contracts, final expenses, Medicare. This is my calendar booked up. This is my other calendar. And that's a sea turtle. So I just want to go monetize so then I can go play piano all day. Okay, so Adam Byrne, the Soviets trained dogs to attack tanks with explosives. They trained them on their own vehicles, and they ended up suicide bombing their own tanks. Didn't go well and stopped. Oh, wow. Really, Adam Byrne? Shout out to the sea turtle. Yep. Wow, Adam Byrne, thank you for contributing to it. You won't happen to be a relative of a squirrel girl. You won't happen to be a relative of the. I'm going to get that turtle. The Kraken said, I'm going to get that turtle. The Krakens. Oh, the Kraken said, I'm going to get that turtle. That's funny. I love that the Kraken stays in character. That's crazy. That's crazy. That is crazy. I didn't know that they did that in World War II. I learn something new every day. Germany had the largest pre-war canine program of any belligerents and trained as many as 200,000 dogs. Each concentration camp had a SS dog unit, right? And the animals were trained to attack prisoners, instilling fear. Other canines were trained as patrols or scouts and used in combat. The SS valued dogs, particularly German shepherds. That explains a lot about German shepherds. I used to have a German shepherd, and maybe that's why German. God, every time I read, I learn something. Jesus is coming back soon. Well, maybe. People have been saying that for a long time. I'm not God. I don't know when Jesus is coming back. I don't know about that. But I tell you what I do know. The Wehrmacht used dogs in all fronts and even provided some 20,000, 25,000 dogs to Japan. And earlier, one of the people in the chat were talking about how the Russians trained their dogs to take explosives and plant on enemy tanks, but sometimes the dogs accidentally did suicide missions on their own tanks, thus eliminating the program, which was kind of interesting. German Shepherds. Oh, you guys want to see my old dog that my ex-wife has now? That lovely woman. I'm going to find an old picture of my dog. I'll show you would you guys, I'm going to go find a picture of my Cookie. I know she's in here. I don't have my German Shepherd anymore. That dog loved me. Just give me 1 second. I'll find her. Give me 1 second. I'll find Cookie. There she is. That is my old German Shepherd, just for what it's worth. Yeah. That was my old German Shepherd. That was my Cookie. Australian Shepherd, yeah. Australian Shepherds are cool too. Does it have a blue moral coat? But I remember a boat with a German Shepherd. Chase, yeah, blue moral coating. It's got that. Yeah, they're great dogs, man. God, what good dogs. I miss mine. That's her, man. I miss her. See how she used to look at me? That dog loved me. With my ex-wife now, she got my dog. That was my old house in the living room over there. Yeah, I'm just happy I can look at this is my old office, just for you guys that care. That was my house in San Diego that my ex-wife has now. That was my old office I built. Hello, Chase. Yeah, just going through pictures, man. Just going through these old pictures just brings back so many memories, man. Wow. Just crazy how just guys just doing some reflections is the thing that comes to my mind to share with you guys is this. Don't take anything for granted. There she is. That's my Cookie. She's a rescue. Welcome back, Gunner. Yeah, she's my rescue, but she's gone now. Ex-wife got her. She took my houses. She took my dogs. Pretty much took everything I had. Thus, we started another business. So, make sure whoever you choose in life, young men, young women, choose wisely because you never know what will happen. But that is why I am qualified to teach you guys not to give up in life. It is not the lump of coal. I'm inspired to make something original. I'm going to attempt to speak internal original thoughts in my mind. This is what comes to mind right now. It is not the lump of coal on a soft bed of sand that becomes a diamond. It is the lump of coal that gets buried and put under so much pressure that it has no choice but to become a diamond. Thus, in reflection, I want to articulate this thought to the audience on stream. The thought I want to articulate is that if you're in a situation where the pressure seems unbearable, you're probably almost to where you need to be, and thus you will arise as a diamond. That's what I'd like to express to you right now. And that's authentic. That's all I have to say about that. Sometimes inspiration strikes and I have to get it out. Anybody else have constant thoughts of inspiration that pop off out of nowhere and you just have to share it with people? Yes, Chase. Yeah, Chase, feel free to ask. Just all I ask is keep it respectful and appropriate. You're very welcome, Cameron. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Uh, it's always diamonds that come under pressure, man. I've seen so many people give up. Don't give up, man. If I can come back, anybody can come back. So, Chase, do you know stray kids? See, when I see stray kids, I think about homeless kids, and I did know some in San Diego. Is stray kids like music? I'm guessing. My pace? I don't know. Let's see here. Interesting. How does this have 570 million views? That's crazy. That song has that many views. What's up, Gunner? Welcome back. Welcome in, everyone. Yo, Chase, did you ask a question? I know you were talking to Oh man, I'm hanging in there, Gunner. Kind of been on stream 6:12. I've been on stream for 3 hours and 10 minutes. I'm trying to do as much as I can to get monetized. Uh Been a long day, been up since like 4 in the morning, did a workout, did some business, got meetings in the morning. It's almost midnight. So yeah. I think I'm slowly going insane at a level that's under control that won't diverge until I'm in about 160 years old. So I think I'm slowly going insane up until I die about 160 years old or so. And at that point, I'll diverge. Just kidding. They are very wonderful. I advise you to follow them. What is this? What? Well, AK Bobby 187. On that note, you should read this book, brother. I mean this. The Semen Retention Manuscript. I'm not joking, brother. The Maniac Stray Kids. All right. It's got a good beat. The Semen Retention Manuscript. You may actually. Whoa. Okay. AK Bobby. Okay. He was getting mad. But, anyways. So, this is something I tell all the young viewers, men and women. Get this book or go to the YouTube channel, right? By the way, this is a cool light. Look at that sucker. It actually has a black light on it. That's my black light. Just so you know. This is I think this is the strongest lumen for this size flashlight on the market. Just something random. But yeah, the Semen. Yeah, that's what you get, Kraken. Beware, Kraken. Just kidding. So the semen retention manuscript. Well, if you actually want one of these, Bear and Otter Outdoor. My cousin sells them. 1 sec. Yo, what? Am I not back here? Yo, there we go. Am I in here? Guys, can you hear me? Yo, okay. So, no, here. Well, I was going to show you guys. If you want one of these lights, here. My cousin owns this shop. It's on Instagram, Bear and Otter Outdoor. That's him. He was in the army. So all I'm saying is, if you want one of these cool lights, you can go to his Instagram profile, message him, and tell him you know his cousin CJ, and he'll give you a discount. Tell him that. Tell him that you know me. His cousin CJ said that you would get 5% off if you make a purchase, and he'll send you a link, just for what it's worth. Well, the only reason I'm listening to La 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 is because someone said to turn it on. Now, typically, this isn't what I would be listening to, but, you know, I can see why people like it. Is it something I would listen to? Probably not. But, hey, that's why there's... That is why... That's why there's menus at restaurants. Everybody likes different things. Wow, 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 wow. America. Laugh out loud. You're stay? You are stay? What does that mean? Stay? Usually when I'm listening, I would listen to something like this. I still like Bach and classical piano. For me, the frequency of Bach and classical piano stimulate my brain more than the modern music, which has good like rhythm. But I just like piano. My great grandmother was a concert pianist, so I just love the sound of a piano in an orchestra. But that's why there's menus at restaurants. I like steak, you like spaghetti. Everybody's different. I would like to play music like this one day. I don't think people can understand what Johann Sebastian. You think English is overrated? Maybe. English is a very difficult language. It's a blend of a lot of things. There is a National Fancy Rat Society, in case you didn't know. This is the Book of Unusual Knowledge. Did you know? Guys, did you know that Stone Age workers to build Stonehenge? It took about 30 million hours for Stone Age workers to build Stonehenge. 30 million hours. Rat gang. The average lifespan of a rat is less than 3 years, but one pair can produce 2,000 offspring in its year. I bet if the rats weren't having 2,000 offspring in the year, they would live longer. I bet that's true. Did you know a group of rats is called a mischief? Ray. So octopus die after giving birth only once? Makes sense. It seems to be a common trend in the world that things that reproduce tend to die. Interesting. Kraken. Kraken, you're a giant let's consult the Kraken. So Kraken, you're a giant octopus, are you not? Kraken, I'm talking to you. Are you not a giant octopus? I have a question for you. By the way, the girl that got deleted earlier, that my moderator actually. No, hey, you're changing it now. You said earlier, Kraken. You said earlier that you're an octopus, not a squid. Why are you changing it now? Yeah, is Kiara still on here? Kiara, did you come back? I actually stayed on stream just to see if you came back. Kraken. It's all right, Elsa. No big deal. Kraken, come on, Kraken. I literally asked you earlier if you were a squid or an octopi. Kraken, you really need to see me. Well, I'm telling you guys. So let's see about rats. Some rats can enter an opening as small as half an inch wide. Let's see. A rat can fall 50 feet. A rat can fall 50 feet without injury. What's more, rats can jump 36 inches vertically and 48 inches horizontally. Interesting. Rats use their tails to regulate their body temperature to communicate. Rats are colorblind. They cannot vomit and they cannot burp. Kraken, we love you, Kraken. Team Reach, somebody just put a message in the team chat. I thought you said you were an octopus earlier, not a squid. I could have sworn that. Don't forget the word aspirin. In 1899, the German company Bayer trademarked the word aspirin as a composite of the scientific name of the drug. A indicates that it comes from acetyl group. Spear represents its derivation from the plant genus Spirea, and it was common ending for drug names in the 19th century. Leon, Leon, I am sober. I don't know if I can handle the truth of reality. By the way, guys, for all of those, see right here, we're getting stronger this year. You see how I'm getting harder and more dense? Strength training builds density. Yeah. He said, damn, those Germans always meddling in something. Used by war medics back in the day. Dude, how do you guys know all this stuff about history? See, I'm so dumb when it comes to history sometimes. I just feel like I need to read more. Let's see. I love this song. It's so crazy. So, who wants to know stuff about Marilyn Monroe? Marilyn Monroe was born in Los Angeles, June 1st, 1926. Norma Jean was baptized, but she was baptized Norma Jean Baker with her mother's last name. All right. Steve Jobs, the eventual co-founder of Apple Computers and the brain behind iPhone, iPod, iPad, Stephen Paul was adopted as an infant by Paul and Clara Jobs in February 1955. I didn't know he was adopted. Jobs held an internship with Hewlett Packard and did a stint in Atari Incorporated before he and Steven Wozniak developed the first Apple computer. These days, the iPhone is ubiquitous, and Apple computers are synonymous with style and tech savvy. There we go. In case you didn't know, another German. Another German. The Age of Enlightenment. Melissa Gilbert, Faith Hill, Globetrotters, Michael Dell, Bill Gates, Sam Walton, Ted Turner. Earth and the Universe, Chapter 8. You want to know about the universe? Kaylin. 76, absolutely. This is the most likes I've had in a video since I've streamed. Kaylin. Why do I like piano? Can anybody explain to me why I like classical piano so much? And why do I think classical piano and metal are the same? I literally feel like death metal, like speed metal, is the same as classical music. I can't explain why. This is where my friends sometimes tell me I'm autistic. I just love this. How can you not like that music? Because it's awesome? I mean, yeah, it's pretty awesome, I think. Wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, they are both awesome. So, the fastest winds ever recorded on Earth blew through the suburbs in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma on May 3rd, 1999. Does anybody want to guess how fast the gusts were recorded during an F5 tornado that destroyed hundreds of homes? How fast do you think it was? Way higher than 145. May 3rd, 1999, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, an F5 tornado. Higher. It's actually higher than 200. No crap. A little bit above 300. Husky Maskers 1098. A little bit above 300. Lower, not 6,000. Come on. No, it was a 318. Under 350, over 300. God, 318 miles per hour gusts were recorded. That's just what was recorded. That is insane. That just blows my mind. How can anything blow that fast? We cannot fathom the power which Mother Nature holds. We are finite creatures bound to the power of Mother Nature, yet we think we know anything in this world. We don't know anything, and we cannot even handle the reality of the power that she can produce. You know what I mean? That's crazy. May 2003 featured the most tornadoes recorded in 1 month in the United States. Experts confirm 543 twisters, far more than the 399 recorded in June 1992. Why does sometimes there's three? That's what was recorded. Woody Allen's real name. A rose made by any other name is supposedly to smell as sweet, but while that may be true in love, it isn't always so in show business. Below are the real names of some famous folks, so if you can match the real name, see if you can match the real name to the alias. Oh, and they have an answer key. Does anybody know Vin Diesel's real name? What was Vin Diesel's real name? Does anybody know? What was Vin Diesel's real name? We're at 70. Hi, Mufasa King. Wilberforce, for those of you who don't know. Reddick and Jones. Supposedly it's David Robert Jones. Yeah. Vinny Octane. Richard B. Reddick. They say David Robert Jones on here. L is 4, so 1 is C. Okay. Elton John? Elton John was Reginald Kenneth Dwight? How do you go from Reginald Kenneth Dwight to Elton John? I wish I could play that. Maybe if I sit here and just listen to it, I can remember. It is 11:51. 11:51. Time for me probably to go to bed. And in case you didn't know, there's a sea turtle. Sea turtle. All right, guys. So, get over here, Mortal Kombat Scorpion. Oh, by the way, for anybody, I want to do one more thing before I go. For anybody who's starting a business and you have business cards, I found a deal on Amazon. I got 1,000 of these magnets, right? And these magnets each have an adhesive sticker. So you take your business card, you pull the sticker off, and now you have a business card magnet. I got 1,000 of them for $70. Good deal. They're having a closeout deal on Amazon. So if you want to start a business and have business cards, listen, in my line of work, people like an actual card. They don't like a digital card. So the adhesive sticker, I mean, you think about it, you go to Vistaprint and you print off magnets for business, you have to pay for it. With this, you do not have to pay. And for them to do that, instead, you buy the cards and you buy the magnets separate and you stick them on yourself. So then sometimes you can give someone a card, and then sometimes you can give them a magnet. So, just so you guys know. All right, but we are coming down to the end. So, guys, I have to say it's been fun. I'm going to clean up these dishes real quick, and then I am going to sleep. As I tell you guys, get a bunch of rest. And, yeah. I appreciate everyone who stayed on stream, guys. I promise you this. Should we actually get monetized, build a community, get everything going, are you guys going to be okay in the future once I start doing my runs with my clients? I'll do videos in between my runs where I talk to you guys while I'm in between business, and you can see what it's like, especially when October 15th gets here. Because once October 15th gets here, that's open enrollment. I might just stream that 24/7 while I'm doing business, right? Invest in Dogecoin? Why not? Well, you got to think. Elon Musk has Operation Doge. Dogecoin, I made a lot of money off of in the past. I have a feeling that it will. I have a feeling it will bust again. Especially, I thought it would go up more with Operation Doge, but remember, reality is an illusion. The universe is a hologram. Buy gold. Cardano, yeah, ADA, Cardano, yeah, I think Cardano is like ADA. But here's the thing too. Other than buying that, there's one thing you should. Can anyone guess? There's one thing that you should invest in more than crypto, more than gold, more than money. And what do you think that is? I guarantee you, if you invest in this, it'll pay off more than all those other things. What do you think that is? Sleep. Very good answer. Christ. Nothing wrong with that. Silver, great. Over a long span of over a long period of time, silver has great returns. But I'm thinking of something else. Are you black? Does it matter? Does it matter? Why make anything about skin color, brother? But now, tamales. Okay, there's one thing, and I want to leave you on this note. Okay, the one thing that you should invest in more than crypto, more than silver, more than gold, it is yourself. Yourself. Invest in you. The whole point of these channels is to teach you to invest in you. Okay? Invest in you. Okay? Invest in you. Invest in your brain. Invest in your ability to learn. An investment in yourself will pay off more than any investment in the world. Because if you invest in yourself in knowledge, you'll know the cryptos, you'll know the business, you'll have the speech, you'll have the ability to communicate with people. So that's what I want to leave you on this note, guys. Thank you for everyone who joined the chat. It was a long chat. We talked about it a lot. We played piano, we had some fun, we had a Kraken come around, but invest in you. Invest in you. You know who I read that from? A guy called Warren Buffett in a book, The Intelligent Investor. Love all you guys. Don't listen to him. Become a neat and goon all day. It's all in your choice. An investment in you will pay off more than any material item that you can buy in this world. Don't be caught up with the Joneses and keeping up with everything. Invest in you. God bless everybody. Your favorite coach and entrepreneur, Coach Chris, signing out.